Hi, again. This is the third part of the tutorial for week 3 on descriptive statistics. In this section, we're going to look at how to do correlation analysis using SPSS. Here I have loaded up my Excel data file into SPSS. And when you're going to do correlation analysis, you go to correlate. I want to have bivariate. You can also choose with confidence intervals if you want, but I'm just going to go bivariate, which means that I want to look at each pair or every two variables and how they correlate. And I can have multiple variables based on the different variables that I have in the data sets. So go to correlate, bivariate. Make it a little bit easier to see. Here, I didn't do any data transformation. You always need to check if your data for each variable are normally distributed. If not, you need to do some data transformation, such as using log10 or other means, other approaches. So I'm going to leave out the participant number, click Shift, and all others, I'll just put them in. I'm going to check my options. I still want my means and standard deviation. Remember, leastwise or pairwise. That's what we mentioned earlier in the lecture. Leastwise means for every observation or every research participant or respondent, if one is empty, if one of the variables that left empty, that person will be removed totally. But in exclude pairwise, we only remove the parts where that particular respondent was empty. So leastwise will make us losing more sample size. Pairwise will save more sample size. So we are not removing too many that are not complete. We'll just continue with pairwise style. No need to change anything. We don't need to do bootstrap. If you want to do confidence interval, you can. So we already have the Pearson. So we are going to mainly use Pearson correlation coefficients, and we're going to use two-tailed and ask SPSS to flag the significant correlations in terms of using stars. We can use OK or paste. Here, I'm going to use OK. So this is the descriptive statistics again in terms of mean and standard deviation and the number of respondents that fill in that particular variable. If you've used other methods of deletion, you may have different numbers of samples for each variables. So it happens that our dataset is clean and we have no missing variables at all. So even though we click leastwise or pairwise, it doesn't change the sample size. So this is the correlation table. This is the most important output that you want to see in your correlations analysis. So it shows you each of the variable and its correlation with themselves. So you want to ignore the diagonal with number 1 because this represents the correlation of that variable on itself. So what I see is normally is what I would check are any values in this corner. So you want to look at those that have correlation of 0.05 or less. So 1 star is significance at 0.05 and 2 star is significant value or p-value at 0.01 or lower. So you can see which ones are significant. So doing correlations is very simple because you don't have to calculate anything. That's it for correlations. Remember, there is a instruction on how you do descriptive statistics, and there's a part on correlations which you could look at and you can test out. There are also other parts which I didn't show in this video examples to make it simpler and easier for you, because for example, you can still do some parts such as doing QQ plot, which is the box plot, and also replacing missing values. So there's another dataset called school.sav file, and it teaches you, in that file, I'll teach you how to deal with missing value, how to enter a new value, in which I use a mean replacement approach. So look at the lecture slides, the lecture video on how what mean replacement really means and how to do it. And in numeric transformation, you can also use a log 10 to normalize the data. You can also use ln or log natural transformation or square root transformation so that the data becomes normally distributed. So this part is the correlation analysis that you can see in a file and the results. You can also do more exercise using the IQ, GPA, shoe size, and the school.sav file. Thank you.